Okay, so you have neurons in your head, right? There's all the little itty bitty electrical line stations, like they're little train stations, as to say, but each neuron, there's billions and trillions of neurons in your brain, your body. They're everywhere. It's your whole central nervous system that has stations and stations that, like, take in and release different chemicals and hormones, and like GABA is one of the most important chemicals that you need in order to not have anxiety. Glutamate is the positive part that brings a negative neuron to positivity, and then GABA is a child of glutamate that actually calms down the neuron. So when the glutamate is present in the neuron actually kicks on other neurons because it's like, hey, let's work. And that's when you might feel the racing thoughts. Like my thoughts are not racing. My neurons won't calm down. But I ate some fruit. I ate some mixed fruit, a can of mixed fruit. I should eat some vegetables. But I'm going to save my food. I don't have a lot of food. I got a job. So, knowing all that about eating the fruit, I can feel my neurons are calmer. But I don't know how long it's going to last because I'm not used to making sure my body gets the proper amount of GABA put into it, because I have a cigarette in my hand that's going to create dopamine in my brain, and then all the GABA I just ate from that can of fruit is going to be disappeared. That's pretty disgusting if you ask me. I don't know why I would have smoked it. I said I would quit smoking when I get married. It's just a way for me to make sure I die faster if I'm alone. So I'm going to meditate and I'm going to smoke. Now, meditation causes GABA too. I got my right foot on my inner thigh here. So meditation causes GABA too. Or as well. I smoke with my left hand, light with my right hand. So I've learned quite a bit about neurons in the past couple days, and there's not a specific gland in the body that produces glutamate and GABA. It's your neurons. Each one of your, let's say each neuron is an electrical storage unit or outlet or extension cord plug or something like that. You get the point. I mean, trillions of them all over your body. I forgot what I was going to say. I would like to know, I think it depends on what you eat or drink or smoke or stuff you put into your digestive system is what I think dictates how much glutamate and GABA is being produced into your body. So you're drinking a lot of pop, right? Well, that's just going to eat away the GABA. The sugar content's going to just up your glutamate, and then your nerves are always going to have that feeling to where you always hear a constant hum. And that's not really a constant hum. You can actually hear your neurons being overactive, and you can feel them being overactive. Like, if I was told I had anxiety by a psychiatrist, which I was, and they didn't tell me this information, why? Why did they not tell me this is how anxiety works? Yeah, granted, they could go into, like, on top of my kidneys here, there's an adrenal gland that produces cortisol, which does not help the process of your neurons being overactive. But if you can come to an agreement on how to keep GABA in your system naturally, I mean, you can go take natural supplements, you can take benzos, you can smoke marijuana, drink alcohol. That'll keep your GABA down, or that'll keep you at high levels of GABA that will keep you calm and less anxiety. But why try to do it through substances that aren't 100% good for you when eating a can of fruit produces the GABA and it ain't going to harm you unless you happen to be allergic to one of the fruits that you ate. So, but I don't have the money to properly feed myself, let alone entertain myself, let alone try to find a woman, because I need money to have a woman. So I have cans of fruits and vegetables. I'm going to live off of those for a while. I guess potatoes do good. You say, oh, where am I going to get my protein? 2 tablespoons of peanut butter a day. It's all I need for my protein. Like, all this meat we eat thinking we need all this protein is just a lie. Like, a jar of peanut butter is enough protein to last me a month maybe. I don't know. We've got serving size, 2 tablespoons. So 64 grams of peanut butter is all the protein you need every day, period. So there's 14 servings. So this jar of peanut butter will last me 14 days for the amount of protein that I need to survive to keep my body working. I don't need a hamburger every meal. I don't need a hamburger 3 times in a meal. That is a lie. I don't know what's wrong with these people. Like, eat foods that produce GABA. I'm trying to go by memory. Like, complex carbohydrates, which I'm not 100% what those are. Those help produce GABA to relax your neurons so they don't fire so quickly and you just got anxiety. Because when your neurons are overactive and too many of them are having a party, you can't sleep. You can't relax. And apparently, when you have so little amount of GABA, you end up having a seizure. That's why seizures happen. Very, very extremely dangerous low amounts of GABA cause seizures. So you could say, oh, well, marijuana helps the seizures. Well, seizures, yes, I get that. But if you've just got normal amounts of low GABA, and what if eating a proper diet could prevent seizures as well? I'm sure they've tried that. It's 2018. So I'm not trying to say marijuana shouldn't be used for epilepsy. But I'm just a little curious on how to research that a little bit more to find out, have they tried changing a diet with high concentrates of GABA to see if you can get those neurons to stop firing. So these neurons are literally going overactive because of the stuff we are putting in our digestive system, which is our mouth. Mostly. You put stuff on your skin too. I mean, what about all them lotions you put, the makeup you put? What kind of chemicals do those put onto your body that make your neurons overexcited with glutamate? Because glutamate is the chemical that makes your neurons work too much. GABA is the chemical that makes your neurons relax. Now, if your neurons are too relaxed, that's when you have a seizure. That's when you may be depressed. That's when you may end up with other mental illnesses. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I could not force myself to go through college long enough with all the stuff they want me to learn when I can learn it for free on the internet and know more and know how to better explain it than the people that are supposedly got the doctor's degrees handing people medications. So I'm not feeling, I'm feeling the GABA being produced because I'm meditating. I'm open-eyed meditating, like talking to a bear right now. So since I'm using my right foot on top. If you're using your left foot on top, you're probably talking to a bear too. Well, anyways. So, well, no. See, that ain't even right. No. If you're using your left foot to meditate, open-eyed meditation. So your left foot's on your inner right thigh, right? You're probably talking to a bear. I'm using my right foot on my inner left thigh. I'm talking to a strawberry because my heart's a strawberry. So I'm talking to plants. But talking to the plants, the strawberry, my heart, whatever. I wear my heart on my right foot. That is causing the GABA to be more produced. And I want to say the color feeling of GABA would have to be gray. Like I ate that fruit and I could feel my neurons being calmed down. But it felt more yellow, and that might have been because of the sugar content that was in there. So if I were to just eat the fruit straight from the tree, or the vegetable straight from the plant, or from my freezer because I got some from my garden last year. But all these processing ways that we keep our food canned probably doesn't fully do the job of keeping the neurons relaxed and balanced that it would as if it were to come from the actual plant out of the ground fresh, which is a bad thing. But we don't understand how to feed everybody, so we throw stuff together to make it last longer. I suggest every town has gardens that they share with the community or tribe, whatever word you want to use, city, metropolis, whatever. If you live in a town, that's your tribe, that's your community, and you take care of each other. The bigger cities, bigger communities, grow gardens on top of buildings. And then if people want food, they can go work for it. Like, hey, I need some vegetables for the day. I'm going to go pick weeds for a couple hours or whatever. I'll do this for a couple hours. I'll put in my 2 hours a day so I can get enough vegetables to eat for the day. It's possible to do this way instead of us having to outsource stuff and put all these chemicals on this to saturate it and soak it in there and just eat some of the natural ingredients that are in our products fresh. So, I mean, even canning puts the salt in there. Salt is not supposed to be naturally added to our food. Salt comes natural in plants like peanuts. So there are things that have salt in them that we don't need to add, but we're not eating them because we don't realize all the nutrients we need can be bought without having to add them from spices or things like that. Buy some salty foods. I don't know. Buy some fish. Fish oil helps with depression. That helps your serotonin levels. Like, this stuff is real. You feel what you eat like. You eat a lot of foods that have a lot of stuff put in them that aren't natural in the way they were grown, then yeah, you're not going to feel 100%. But this is the problem, and I'm going to end with this. The problem is, I don't have the money to properly feed myself. What do I do?